everybody, welcome back. Unboxing time. Mary's here.
Hello.
And we're here to open up our August 2020, that's what year it is still, unfortunately, horror pack. Ooh. Let's find out if we have more movies Mary wants to watch. Don't forget, we will be reviewing these movies, but if you want to check out Horror Pack, I have a link in the description below, and that might get you some kind of discount at checkout if I remember. And you can choose a Blu Ray package plan or a DVD package plan. And I think the movies are slightly different when you do that. But we have the Blu Rays, Morty. And what's nice is you're always gonna get at least one movie out of here that you do not have because they always get an exclusive. At least at that time it's exclusive. So that's really cool. And I have a huge movie collection, like over 7,000 titles, so it is surprising how often they are able to give me things I don't have.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about doing the reviews now is even if I have it, it's just a good excuse to go back and watch it again. So, you know, or for the first time if I never gotten to it, like we got to all those Insidious films because of Horror Pack, or I did.
What's this week?
I know, I did. One of the beautiful things also in last month, as you may have noticed, we got a 4K disc and we're 4K capable, so wasn't it awesome? Didn't you love it? I haven't watched it. We're filming this way ahead of time because Eric can't wait to see what movies he gets. I think I said all the things. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and pull out a movie, my dear, and let's see what we get. Bill and Ted Face the Music?
Got The Shallows. I'm pretty sure you've got
I definitely have that. And it's mostly good. Mostly, but it's a shark movie, so Eric loves his shark movies. I'm just trying to see the spines to make sure I have these to where we pull these out correctly.
Get out of my way.
Sorry, jeez. It's a good time. It's tense, it's interesting. For it to focus on one character through most of the movie, they do a real good job.
You want me to actually read the back?
Oh, I forgot we do that. Yeah, okay. Go right ahead.
In the Tout?
Where's the Taut?
Tot.
Yeah.
Okay, in the Tot thriller, when Nancy, Blake Lively, is surfing on a secluded beach, she finds herself on the feeding ground of a great white shark. Wide? Did I say wide?
It's late, y'all.
Great white shark. Though she is stranded only 200 yards from shore, survival proves to be the ultimate test of wills, requiring all of Nancy's ingenuity, I cannot talk tonight apparently, resourcefulness and fortitude, starring Steven Seagal.
Oh, because there's a seagull on there. You know what? I just choked on wine, but that seagull, if I recall, might be more of a dick.
Also Steven Seagal.
That's what I mean, more of a dick. Oh, but you know what? Steven Seagal even, because of your drunken movie night creation.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I got very distracted.
You're so slow. I can't talk and you're slow.
It's the new CBS buddy comedy. Oh, Jesus.
Special features include deleted scenes, how to build a shark, shooting in the shallows, finding the perfect beach, Lord Howe Island, and when sharks attack.
I can make you a shark. Or in the shallows, in the shallows. It's the theme to MASH this time, 'cause I mashed it up.
All right,
Mary's head is down if you can't see it, huh?
Are we ready to move on?
No, it's been like 2 minutes, so we gotta give about 60 more seconds. But I got stuff I can say about this. A, it's PG-13.
Okay.
You wanna watch this one? I mean, there's some stuff, but it's a little bit bloody, but I mean, it's PG-13.
Maybe.
It's a shark thing.
We'll see what
you can
else is
sit
in
there, because I've seen it before, so you can sit there and you can be like, that's not how that works. No, they wouldn't do, and then I can laugh at you, and then you'll think it's funny. Especially when the ending happens. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but even I was like, what? Like even I'm like, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't work that way.
So it sounds like a physics says no moment.
Or just a nature says no kind of. But I mean, it's a good time. I don't hate on the movie. I did enjoy it. My
seagull crew!
Oh, you know? Who told you how this ending works? Yeah, basically the seagull turns into a giant and he fights the shark. The shark grows arms and whips out chainsaws. And actually, I'm writing an amazing movie for the asylum right now because I would pay good money to see a movie like that. That sounds like my jam. But the suspense and stuff in here is really, really cool. There is a lot of stuff that does make sense. So it's definitely worth seeing if you like shark movies. Just don't expect it to be 100% authentic.
Now, she's married to Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if only he was there to punch the shark for her.
Oh my God, I need a director's cut where he voices the shark. They just give the shark Deadpool like dialogue the whole time.
Oh, God.
Or now I need somebody to go on the internet, use your memeing skills, and take footage of this and audio of him as Deadpool, and have him just be like, hey, what you doing? Hey. Superhero landing. All right, now we can move on. Let's see what the next one is. And I am pretty sure I have this, and I've still wanted to see it. I've not gotten around to see it.
Is that with the McCulkin?
Maybe, yeah, Rory Culkin.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if mine is the uncensored director's cut, so I will look that up in just a moment. Because this cover certainly looks different than mine.
I remember hearing something about this, but not
Yeah, it's like the Swedish death metal band that tries to take stuff too real and all that stuff. And I hear this is not one you're gonna want to watch, I think.
Probably not.
All right, so here is the back. Oh man, that looks so much nicer than it used to, and that's stupid. Just so crisp. And here is the art, because I know my cover is different. And we go.
It's
Rory
Culkin trying to do The Crow, it looks like.
Well, it's Swedish death metal makeup. All right, tremendous fun, says Amy Nicholson of Variety. The story of true Norwegian black metal and its most notorious practitioners, a group of young men with a flair for publicity, church burning, and murder. Mayhem. Oslo, 1987. 17-year-old Euronymous is determined to escape his idyllic Scandinavian hometown and create true Norwegian black metal with his band Mayhem. He's joined by equally fanatical youths, Dead and Varg. Believing that they're on the cusp of a musical revolution, the group gets even darker, driven by the black metal dogma to spread evil. They begin burning down churches throughout the countryside and stealing tombstones for their record store. But when the press catches up with them and Euronymous takes more credit than he's earned for the group's violent acts, Varg, fresh out of jail, arranges a dark encounter to settle the score and ultimately determine who the darkest black metal musician is. Bonus feature, trailer. That's literally what it says.
Oh God, what was Metalocalypse?
Oh, now that's a show. I love me some Metalocalypse.
Metalocalypse is one of those things, it's like, I would watch once, but probably not again, although the movie was surprisingly good.
I don't know that I saw the movie. Now, you mean an animated movie?
Yeah.
Because I was like, did they make a live action and I didn't know?
No, but I think what hooked me was that they actually had something of a plot going on, behind the scenes. I was like, oh wait a minute, that looks interesting over there. I can do without all the shit over here. That looks interesting over there. Anyways, maybe we should talk about the movie.
No, you are. You're helping me out because I'm actually trying to find out if I have the same version.
All right.
So you having something to say was helping me, while I kind of look into this.
Yeah. So I just like, I know death metal and thrash metal and speed metal and everything. I can't say I know a whole lot about black metal.
Right, yeah. I can't either. Why can't I open that?
And if this is how it is, that there might be a good reason for it.
Right.
I did like Manowar, and they had an album out that was all about the Norse gods and whatnot. That was cool. But
okay.
Anyways, your answer?
Sort of. This is definitely a different cover than mine, so I don't know if I have the uncensored director's cut or not. My app was not telling me if that was rated R or uncensored or anything. So, if nothing else, it's alternate art, so I may keep it just for that.
All right.
Because it's probably a movie I love.
All right, my turn.
But yeah, your turn.
All right.
And I have flipped it, so.
All right.
The
so
special.
I've got Rites of Passage.
Okay, this one does not ring any bells, so I don't think I have
Christian
this one.
Slater in it.
Ooh, and Wes Bentley and Stephen Dorff. Nice.
I don't really know those two.
What? Yes, you do.
I don't recognize the names.
Wes Bentley, you would totally recognize his face. Stephen Dorff, you might know from Blade. He was the main bad guy.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
There's a sock monkey?
Oh yeah, you're supposed to, I guess.
I'm pretty sure I started on the back.
Yeah, but I mean, now you show in the front, you gotta go to the front so you can read it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that is a sock monkey.
Okay.
All right. Nathan Randonahue, an anthropology student, invites a few of his classmates and their professor, Stephen Dorff, to his family's abandoned ranch, once a sacred Chumasa?
Oh my god. Chumash, I guess.
Yeah, not familiar with that one. Burial ground to recreate an ancient ceremony. Now, things are going to go horribly wrong, aren't they?
Probably.
There, they meet Nathan's psychotic older brother, Benny, Wes Bentley, and drug-fueled Delgado, Christian Slater. The students then embark on a rite of passage that no one will ever forget.
Ooh.
Special features include the making of rites of passage and trailer.
I do not have this one. I looked while my lady read. Yeah, that sock monkey makes me think it's going to be comedic, but that's Wes Bentley.
That looks like not Sharknado.
Not Ian
Anderson filming?
No. No, it's not Ian. Okay, Finn Shepard is played by. Why can't I think of? Oh no, Echo. Who stars in Sharknado?
Sharknado stars include Ian Ziering.
Ian Ziering. Thank you. Echo, go home. Ian Ziering. I was on the right track. He's my alarm clock when I use one. But that's Stephen Dorff, and you're right, he kind of does. They should play like brothers or something in a movie. That'd be pretty cool.
And he kind of looks like your guy from Walking Dead.
Which?
The one with the crossbow.
Oh, Daryl? Really? You see that in there?
That long stringy hair.
I don't know. It looks like a jokey version of Stephen Amell playing in a bad wig. This sounds interesting. It is rated R. It is from Magnolia Pictures. Anything with Christian Slater, I'm going to enjoy to some degree, even though he's actually way down the actual cast list when you get into the credit block version.
For the longest time, I used to keep getting him and Kevin Bacon mixed up.
Christian Slater and Kevin Bacon?
Back in the 80s.
I mean, I guess in the early days when we're younger and stuff, sure. Oh, this is directed by the writer of Varsity Blues. I Don't Want Your Life. And co-writer of Patriot Games and Point Break. So at least the director wrote some good stuff. Have no idea how that's going to translate to the film itself.
That's true.
But that could be cool. At least it's one I don't have. So we should definitely have 2 out of 4 I absolutely don't have, and maybe a half I don't have. So we're in pretty good shape, and I'm looking forward to watching these.
Okay.
Exclusive time.
Shall we play How Shitty's the Box Art?
Right, here's our favorite game. It's time for How Shitty is the Box Art? And we have Agoraphobia. Ooh, Tony Todd.
Well, front's not bad looking.
Yeah, the front's like pro artwork. The back, ooh, no.
Director's Signature Edition?
Yeah, Lou Simone, which is actually a familiar sounding name. But yeah, again, it does have a credit block, so I'll give them that. But then it's like, here's the picture. That's the picture section. I will give them credit for a little bit of a text that looks quality text over the images, but the images again look frame grabbed, look poorly printed. It is horror pack number 50, and it's apparently signed. I bet you that's printed though.
Oh, no doubt.
You know, I don't think it's gonna be hand signed. Could be, but I don't think so. But hey, it's got Tony Todd. It has the Candyman. It has Death himself. So I definitely want to check this out.
Oh, he's
you know what?
Candyman?
Yeah.
The Candyman.
And apparently he might still be the Candyman in the new one. I'm still confused on how all that's working out. You know what we don't have on here? Something very important.
And a description?
A description of the film.
Apparently she thought she was safe inside.
She thought she was safe inside. Oh man, this is gonna screw me up too because I usually drop, okay, so let me,
So, apropos of nothing, I was listening to Bob and Sherry, and Todd had just discovered FG Her American Badass.
Oh,
listening
really?
to him just try to describe it on Bob and Sherry was hilarious.
I love that movie. It has been too long.
The thing is, he didn't actually watch the movie, he just read the description.
Oh, really? He didn't even watch it? Oh, that's weak.
It's like...
He needs to watch it.
Yeah,
Anyways, on IMDb, it has 3.4 stars out of 10, but I mean, that doesn't really mean anything. Zeppo has like 6 stars out of 10. I mean, that's...
She's like, what do you mean I only have 3.5 stars?
Right. All right, so here we go. I can give you a little bit of a descriptor. Sure. An agoraphobic inherits her father's house in a remote part of the Florida Keys. When weird things start happening, she discovers that there's something far more terrifying trapped inside the house with her.
The Candyman, apparently.
Yeah, right? See anybody else in here that I recognize? Nope.
See, now I have this thing in my head where the
Nope.
Candyman's was like her dad's roommate. He's like renting a room in the house. He doesn't actually terrorize him. He's just like, that's just where he crashes when he's not out terrorizing other people.
By the way, here's the director. I'm kind of surprised.
Okay.
Because the lady.
It's the lady. Okay.
Yeah, I just, I mean, it's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm not making any judgments. I'm just like, because I'm so used to it being dudes, I was like, oh, lose a chick. Cool. Let's see what else she did while we're waiting on this trailer to play. Oh, she wrote a bunch of stuff. That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh. Not even as a director, though. Let's see what she directed. Not seen it, 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 not seen it. Okay. The Awakened, Hazmat, Agoraphobia, All Girls Weekend, 3, Lilies Are Red, Goodwill Ambassador, Adam 6, 73 minutes. I have not heard or seen any of those. Let's see what she wrote. Pretty much all the same movies, plus Foresight. All right. I mean, it could be really good. I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Yeah.
The collector's edition ones can be very hit or miss. Sometimes they're like really well-known movies. A lot of times they're really cheap, not so good movies. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're pretty damn good. But yeah, so we have 2 I definitely don't have, 1 I definitely do, and a possible director's cut that I don't have. So I'm pretty good with that. I'm looking forward to seeing these. I'm glad I'm finally gonna get around to watching Lords of Chaos. Rites Passage sounds okay, this sounds okay. I don't know, and The Shallows, I'm good for rewatching The Shallows. We'll make all kinds of Lady Gaga jokes. So it looks like if you watch any, it'll be The Shallows.
Probably.
Because everything else is like R, unrated and brutal and...
Yeah, or I might just be like, honey, I'm busy, watch without me.
and I'll be like, okay, I really want to watch a movie, and fine. Is my Superman curl coming down? It tickled and you were looking at me funny. Okay, and I just convinced Mary to watch The Shallows. Hold on, though. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this little cute furball right here. This is my buddy. He was like very cute earlier. There's Tabitha. Itty Bit's like over there, way off in the yonder. All right, so. Well, thank you for being in the video before you take off. He's been sleeping beside me this whole time. So, The Shallows. Real quick, I'm going to warn you. This is definitely going to have spoilers. We have to have spoilers in this because I have got to talk to Mary about the ending. Those of you that may have been around the channel for all kinds of things, I've talked to, you have to, I've said it before, you need to watch it because I need to know what you think about the ending. I will just tell you right now, I got exactly the kind of reaction I was expecting about the ending. But before we get into that, let's see. I mean, overall, it's a really good movie. I don't know if I did a review for this on my YouTube channel, but I mean, it's very enjoyable, right? I mean, it works.
Yeah.
The intensity is there for the most part, maybe until the end. It makes a lot of sense.
Except all the shark logic, I'm pretty sure is wrong.
But is it all the shark logic, or is it just maybe a tiny bit in the beginning and then a big thing at the end? Because I feel like a lot of the shark logic makes sense, but except for a couple of things.
Right. So the shark frenzy at the very end definitely does not make sense.
Well, and I want to save the ending talk towards the end, so let's not jump too deep into that. But
where do you want to go then?
I want to get into more in generalities here, I mean, overall, I know you had an issue in the beginning with it wouldn't attack her with the big whale dead carcass, because the whole thing is she stumbles across a feeding ground. Right,
because I mean, while she did get close, it wasn't okay. So sharks are very visual predators. I mean, they also use the blood thing.
Right. Okay.
And the reason why sometimes surfers get attacked is because sometimes they look like a flailing wounded animal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're on that board.
Right.
But the thing is, sharks are kind of lazy. And if they already have a food source right there, then chances are they're not going to go after another thing that they would actually be more likely to interpret as another food source rather than something trying to take their food.
Yeah, and I get where you're coming from, but I argue that she was so close to the 80-bit slug. She was so close to the whale carcass that maybe it was just thought as part of it. But I won't.
Close. She didn't get that close.
Okay, but I won't deny you on that. And again, this is a horror pack review. This is not one of our normal movie reviews, so we don't need to go super in depth. But
once she is injured and she is giving out, then it kind of makes sense. But at the same time, shark would be like, "Why am I circling this when there's food right there? Nom 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 nom," and it doesn't explain why he went after the 3 other guys that got nowhere near the whale carcass.
Well, and I'm just going to throw this. They don't talk about this in the movie, but maybe it's like a mama shark. Maybe it like laid eggs. Do sharks do that?
Sharks.
I don't know.
Depending on the shark, I know some sharks actually give live birth.
Well, I mean, this looks like a great white. Are they protective of eggs and young and stuff? Assuming
Not
that's
really,
what it is.
No.
All right. So forgive all of that. All right. But how about the human element of it? Because again, Mary was writing the movie as the movie was happening. She's like, well, that's not how really tourniquets work. You would want to, and then she does it. And then
they did good about that thing. She'd have to do it actually fairly frequently.
And again, you don't want to spend so much. I applaud the fact they reference it at all in the movie.
It sort of falls in that thing of you don't talk about when a character goes to the bathroom because you just assume that eventually they go to the bathroom.
And it's almost like, hey, let's show it once so we show that, hey, that's a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I can forgive that. I think Blake Lively is great in this. I think the visuals are great in this. The cinematography is great. The effects are great. The stuff with the seagull is hilarious. And now I'm wondering, did I steal the Steven Seagal line from this? Or was it just a coincidence and it's one of those jokes everybody thinks of? Because we did a Steven Seagal thing for Drunken Movie Night.
Well, the thing is,
I have a t-shirt drawn by yours truly over here.
It's one of those things I think it just kind of lends itself naturally.
I think so too.
So it's just like there's probably been a bajillion Steven Seagals out there.
But did you appreciate like all the comedy and stuff with the seagull? I thought that stuff was pretty good.
Yeah.
And Blake Lively, I mean, and like her performance. And for a movie that is essentially one person stuck on a rock for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good. Some good jump scares, some good shocks, some good stuff like that. Music's great. This is where I learned that one of our favorite resorts to visit for vacation is Playa Mujeres, Secrets Playa Mujeres. And this is where I learned that Playa Mujeres means woman beach or beach of women. Yeah. Because this is the movie that taught me that Spanish. So I thought that was cute.
Well, of course, and this one's the pregnant woman.
Yeah, but still, it taught me that, like Playa is beach and Mujeres means woman, so that's what I learned. I like the stuff with her family. I like that she's working out her shit. I think that's kind of cool. Again, Mary's writing the thing. It's like, oh, and here's shoot the shark with a thing or use the shark tooth to get in a thing. And it's like, give it 2 seconds, Mary. She's traumatized. She'll get there. So I appreciated that. So, I mean, overall, before we get to the ending, because I do want to discuss the ending, but overall, in general, what did you think? Like, did you enjoy it? Do you feel like it was worth checking out?
Yeah, I probably won't watch it again, but it was okay.
Fair enough. And obviously that's her take. My take is as a shark movie, I fucking loved it. It does make me want to go watch some goofy ass shark movies because this isn't super goofy, but
her actions for the most part were actually well thought out.
That's pretty high praise.
And I like that. It's just that the shark behavior, either somebody doesn't know how sharks work or they...
Writer's convenience. Well, again, the thing about shark movies, because a lot of people, they get mad about shark movies, villainizing sharks, and I understand that. And, in my youth, I may not have understood it, but I understand it now. They're just creatures. They're just, they're not evil. They're not out to get you and all that stuff. But there's something about me that I still love just the fun of a shark villain movie,
Well, here's the thing. If you're talking about something like The Meg or...
It's getting a sequel, by the way.
Sharknado or whatever, then you can throw all the behavioral rules pretty much right out the window because...
Well, Sharknado, absolutely. And The Meg, I guess, because it's like a prehistoric creature we don't know that much about necessarily. Is that?
Yeah, and probably wouldn't survive what it survived. But
yeah, that's a whole other thing. We'll do a review on the Meg eventually. Sorry, I had to shift my hand. I didn't mean
that thing where you're going like, do I have a hair in my mouth? I can't tell.
Oh, cats! There's cats everywhere. But so overall, yeah, very very good time. Enjoyed it. Glad you watched it with me.
You wanted to talk about the end?
I was gonna get there, and
Okay.
I'm making sure I wrap everything up before we get on this end rant.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean a good time. Enjoyed it. Fast paced. You know, it doesn't waste any. There's no fat in the movie. It moves fast. It's good. It's a really good shark movie. If you love shark movies like I do, and hell, I did a Amazon Prime VR Oculus Quest Under the Sea shark video earlier today, and I lasted about 15 seconds. The shark got up in my face. I was like, nope, and backed out of the video. So I was having a little flashbacks. But yeah, so again, great horror pack edition. Loved it. Now, I'm going to set this up, and I'm going to let you go with it. And I may actually have to grab my arm to shift my weight here in a second. We were doing that. Okay, so the one thing I remember, and I'm going to go ahead and shift my weight. The one thing I remember when I watched this movie originally was I really enjoyed it, and I think it's like intense, and you can forgive little flaws here and there, and it's really, but the ending, the way she defeats the shark, I watched that, and that just not ruined it for me, but kind of ruined the whole experience, because it's like, that seems abso-fucking-lutely ridiculous, like, let me say my real quick thing, and then it's all you. So, I mean, basically, again, spoilers, she chases it down, makes it chase her, and it, like, just rams into the ocean floor and gets speared by a piece of rebar sticking out of the buoy weight or whatever. And I'm like, anchor. And I'm like, it would know it's about to crash into the floor and swoop off. There's just no way. And it's so kind of ridiculous that bugs the shit out of me. Now, Mary's face, I got to turn, and I watched her face, and right when it happened, it was like a... it was like that meme almost. But it made me so happy to see her face have that reaction. It made me feel validated that... And her mention, what she said afterwards, I'm going to have to think about if that's that for a minute. That said, now I need to know, all right, the ending of The Shallows.
Okay, so first of all, the shark going absolutely ballistic on that buoy.
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah. Tearing apart
First
metal.
of all, where the fuck did she set the blubber from the whale on fire?
Yeah, that too. I think that's what that was supposed to be.
Because there was like no, engines of any sort to be leaking oil or gasoline.
Right, and did they show her, like, they didn't show her, like, spill it across anything, like, she just noticed it?
Yeah. And I'm sitting here going, that's the only thing I can think is that she set blubber from the whale on fire. And I was like, I don't think blubber works like that. I mean, it can be used as a fuel source, but that's like after it's been processed and shit.
Right, and I mean, just the convenience of it. Oh, here's an oil trail, movie style, all the way out to the buoy. It's weird. I gotta shift my weight. Sorry. Coming back in.
But the sheer frenziedness, the way the shark attacks, I'm pretty sure, unless there's like shark rabies or something, I don't know. That makes him go crazy.
Right.
I don't think that would happen. So, but if it were to happen, it would lend credence to the fact that it is so intent on getting her that it does fly face first into the rebar.
In that regard, okay, but this is what I really want to hear is the face first into the rebar. The shark. But it's not internal senses, like there's a wall there I'm about to slam into.
Again,
or is it a tunnel vision? Like, is that at all believable? At all, in any way?
Sharks are visual. So
he could actually, you're saying, even though you had the reaction I wanted, he could have, even if it's a 1% chance.
If he was that frenzied, I think it is actually possible.
Okay. This is like the best answer I could have got because you gave me the reaction I wanted, but then you're also explaining that there is a slim chance it could have gone down that way.
The framework that they have provided you.
But I'm saying even outside of the framework, it is possible a shark can get so frenzied because it's so focused on its prey.
Sharks don't have echolocation or anything.
So, I mean, even in any kind of movie, it could be one of those things where however, decides, oh, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have somebody draw its attention and make it go the way we want. So then the person can peel off and we can kill it somehow. Like, in any iteration,
actually, I have more problems with
possible.
her peeling off before she hit it.
Okay, that's fair, too. That's absolutely fair.
That big... Because
this is great.
Again, she was kind of between. It was focused on going after her. I think a shark might be able to survive plowing to the seafloor if it's a sandy seafloor.
Right. Yeah. If there's not a giant chunk of metal shoving through its brain pan.
Right. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's I'm surprised she was able to get out of the way.
Yeah, no, that's great, and I love that that's the real issue. But everything about this review, I'm loving.
I'm not sure how fast a shark can turn when it's going that speed.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fair
Because
too.
I'm not sure it can go.
Now I'm trying to decide: did I want that brief, half second shot of the shark's eye being like, "Oh shit"?
Did we get that?
No, but if it was an Asylum movie, I would fucking love the hell out of that. Like the shark realizing, oh fuck, I'm fucked.
But
all right.
So that's why I was sitting here going
yeah, no, I love it. That's great.
I think
what is going on back there?
Oh, I brought a box that had crinkly paper in it.
Oh, is that any bit in the crinkly paper?
That's probably Napoleon.
It might be Napoleon. I can't tell from that. But anyways.
Napoleon's over in the box, so it's Zitty Bit.
It's a Zitty Bit. All right, so that is fucking awesome. The one last thing I'll say, because this is a long review for Horror Pack, I do love the message of the ending, though. I do love that she had this situation happen, and she didn't let it ruin her. She's like, no, I'm still going to go do the things I love. I'm just going to be stronger because I survived it. So if bullshit happens again, I'll survive it again.
But I'm going to go surfing on populated beaches and not by myself.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. But I'm also going to learn a little lesson from it and be a little bit smarter about it. So very, very cool. And Texas has swim beaches, so cool. All right.
Galveston.
I don't know anything about Texas. I almost said political things. I'm not going to say anything political.
The Gulf of Mexico.
Well, I mean, I knew it was on the, I knew it had ocean, but anyways, all right. Cool. All right, so I guess, there's another movie. Well, I don't know where this came in the frame of movies, but some of the movies are good. At least one is not.
I have no idea.
I know. All right. Yay, Horror Pack. Oh, last thing. This is Mary's last unboxing of Horror Pack with me.
Yeah.
Now, granted, next month, I've already got a movie picked out, a similar movie, that I'm making her do the review with me.
Pourquoi?
I told you. But just so you know, because we didn't know when we filmed the unboxing part of this, we didn't know when we filmed the unboxing part of this that by this was going to be when we split off. But I'm going to try and get her in on a review in every Horror Pack. There may occasionally be times where the entire Horror Pack, she can't handle anything, but next month she can handle this one. I just got to get her drunk. All right. Next movie. Lords of Chaos. Okay, so let's talk about Lords of Chaos. I have been excited to see this film, and I was not disappointed. Let's see if we can move this so I can get a little more light. I was just trying to do something cool right there. So I was not at all disappointed in this. It's a fascinating, fascinating story. I did kind of watch some behind the scenes and learn some things about how untrue a lot of this is, but I mean, it does from the get-go tell you it's based on truth and lies and some of the stuff that actually happened, which I think is a great way to start it off. Rory Culkin is amazing in this, as is all the performances in this, but Rory is just absolutely fantastic. I don't love the character, but I love his portrayal of the character. It doesn't play too much in the music, which is fine, because I'm not a heavy death metal or black metal fan necessarily. Don't hate it, nothing against it, it's just not my particular jam. But yeah, all the performances in this are great, and it's hard to say it's really a horror film. It is horrific, and there are a couple of moments of extreme violence that are played brutally realistic, and they are kind of hard to watch, especially because you kind of become attached to certain characters. But just the story of it all coming around and just the way it plays from start to finish. I mean, there are absolutely shocking moments in there. There are absolutely hysterical, funny moments in there. There's messed up moments. There's heartfelt moments. It's just all kinds of interesting stuff through and through. And then towards the end, there is a legitimate sense of dread. As you know, everything is about to just unspool horribly. And, it's like, oh my God, who all is going to be infected? What's going to happen? Blah, 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 blah. Because I didn't really know much about the story other than hearing about like the church burnings and all that kind of stuff. So I was pretty unfamiliar with the story. And again, this is like the sensationalized version of that story. There are apparently better documentaries and things that really, if you want the real story of what went down. So apparently a lot of people complain that this makes black metal look bad. There's a lot of inaccuracies, but that's not what I'm here for. So I enjoyed the hell out of it. And it really is, it's almost more like just kind of a quirky indie biopic. Until it's not. And just such a good time with it. I don't know, I don't think there were any pacing problems or it wasn't overly long because I was just thoroughly engaged through and through. I was hooked into these characters, their mentalities, how they're kind of, they definitely see the world different than a lot of people would see the world. And some of the messages too about like this sort of almost self-fulfilling prophecy of kind of creating an attitude, a lifestyle to market and sell, but then how that becomes more of a reality, even though it was really more of a sales tool, and then how that can all backfire. So I think all that stuff was super fascinating. And just watching these relationships kind of build and build and build upon each other until they just get explosive. That was super interesting as well. But again, I just can't get over Rory. He was just, it is Rory. Am I saying it right? I better make sure I say it right. He deserves for me to say it right. Yeah, Rory was just absolutely amazing in this. Everybody was really good in this. Hair and makeup. Some of the stuff with the actual black metal stuff is really fun. The church burnings, pretty interesting. Although, man, they got some crazy churches out there that are just kind of gorgeous. Regardless of how you feel about religion or any of that stuff, you can't deny some of these churches are really gorgeous and actually kind of gothic. So you kind of almost like, well, wouldn't they think these are cool? And maybe what they represent's not cool, but the look of them are kind of cool. But yeah, and I learned some interesting things that, black metal was in a lot of ways, very punk rock in terms of attitude about like, it's not supposed to be good. And like, we don't tour. It's like we make the record should hurt. So things like that I think are really, really fascinating. There are definitely a couple of moments in here of extremely brutal gore and violence. And again, I think the incredible realism of some of this stuff. It's also hearkening to kind of a giallo film at times, so of course I'm going to dig that as well. But yeah, man, Lords of Chaos. I never bothered to look. I think I already had the director's cut, but I just opened the horror pack version anyways and watched it. But yeah, that's a movie I will definitely revisit. So this has been a really strong month of horror pack. I assume it's been. We opened the box so long ago. I don't remember which exclusive was in this one, so I don't know if the last review is fun or not. But other than that, the non-exclusives, at least, I know I can guarantee you this was a very, very strong month for horror pack. So great times all around as far as I'm concerned, and cool beans. Okay, so Rites of Passage. Honestly, it's been like a week since I watched this. I kind of forgot to do my review. Whoops. Honestly, especially because of this frame back here, I thought, this is not gonna be good. I'm mistaken. This was actually really freaking awesome, and I never would have watched this on my own because of just generic cover art, but this was a really good time and kind of something a little bit different. I really liked all the characters, the good guys, bad guys, all that in between, but what I really liked about this, and I'm gonna do this of course with no spoilers, but you don't really know where it's going. And for the longest time, you see definite threats and like bad guys, but you're not really sure, wait a minute, who's gonna end up being the real terror here? What's the real deal going on? So all that kind of stuff played into something really, really interesting. Christian Slater is fantastic in this, and his like kind of hallucinatory talks with a thing are just great. Like, it's kind of weird, but it totally makes sense in context of what's going on. The characters are fun to watch, fun and interesting to look at. There's some One of the things I really like about this too is the characters felt very realistic to me in the sense that they do some really dumb, aggravating things, but in the way those characters in the real world would do dumb, aggravating things. A guy who maybe falls in love a little bit too hard with an online persona, things like that. You know, the teacher-student dynamic, which was kind of interesting here. The brotherly dynamic, the way things work at parties, the one girl that goes a little overboard with the accusatory moments of somebody and then starts bullshitting and how that all backfires. So again, just really good time. Really strong pace, you know, editing, all that stuff was fine. The performances are really good. I was really impressed with this. And again, it kind of grabs you right from the start and you're invested and you're kind of like, all right, where's this going? And it doesn't paint by any kind of numbers. It has its own flow and its own style, kind of, not style, but its own flow going on. It makes it really, really fascinating. A terribly enjoyable watch. And of course, Wes Bentley's fantastic. Slater is amazing in this. Even Stephen Dorff, he doesn't have necessarily a lot to do, but what he does is pretty cool. And then like the who survives, who doesn't, how things work out, how they don't, that's really good too. There's maybe one or two little loose ends that aren't really explained or tied up in the film, but I don't feel like that was terribly annoying or aggravating. At the end of the day, I had a really good time with this, and this is something I'm happy to have in my collection. I definitely would watch it again. I'd recommend it to people. I mean, again, it's not like A-tier, God-tier, top of the top lists of all time or anything. But I mean, if you're just looking for something a little different, you stumble upon it on like a Netflix or if it hits Shudder, or if you got Horror Pack and you've been putting it off, I recommend checking it out. It's gonna go kind of in ways you wouldn't expect. And you know, again, I just found myself really enjoying everybody in it. The locations they were able to film in were really fascinating as well. It's maybe not terribly gruesome or horrific in any way. There's a moment or two that maybe, but even those moments I feel like they could have gone harder, and then maybe this might have been even more beloved as a horror classic, but I don't think it necessarily needs that. I think it works pretty darn well as is, and a pretty solid directorial work and effort here with a great story and great performances. So yeah, Rites of Passages, a wonderful surprise from Horror Pack.
So this is pretty much what I look like watching Agoraphobia. Where to begin? So in most ways this was pretty awful. It was pretty awful. I can't really recommend this to anybody, but it's like, okay, no, there's so many things. I was gonna put this review off till tomorrow, but I have to see so many things before I forget them, so let me get to it. It almost, after starting off really bad, really soap opera-y, really poorly directed, cast, acted, everything, it feels like one of those like late 80s, early 90s, like Skinamax thrillers, but with no skin. Not that I'm looking for that, I'm just saying like it's all the worst parts of one of those Skinamax kind of movies. And like movie of the week and soap opera-y and just like exposition. There is almost, it's not charming. It's almost charming by proxy to a mild degree, because it reminded me, and go with me on this, don't get excited by what I first say, it reminded me of The Room, Tommy Wiseau's The Room, without that strange, bizarre, lovable something of a charm that Tommy brings to it. But it almost kind of made me think if he was in this movie and directing it, like that's a movie I'd want to see, because it was almost like, even just camera quality wise, acting wise, character wise, writing wise, it kind of felt like that without him involved. There's like no gore, no makeup effects really. I mean, I guess maybe there's a tiniest bit, like there's some blood and some body parts. Actually, yeah, okay. I haven't said any spoilers yet. I am going to spoil the first scene. This is the opening of the movie, the very opening of the movie. And I'm not even going to really spoil it, but it sets a different tone completely than what the movie is. You can tell the composer has been given a temporary edit with music from Saw, and it has tried to recreate that style of that particular track, while the filmmaking clearly is trying to do the overarching jump cuts to kind of a silly degree. There's a moment here that just absolutely makes me laugh out loud, completely unintended by the film. You know, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but you know, like, you feel it. It's the most predictable film I've ever seen, in the sense that even, like, not so much predictable in the specifics of the plot, but I just could tell from the beginning, from the performances, the style, the tone, not necessarily the writing, I could tell from the beginning this is going to be one of those, oh, it's not what you think kind of things. If you've seen the ending, you know what the horror element to this is, and the twists and the turns. You kind of like, you feel like that's what's going to be the twists and the turns. Not to a specific degree, but to a character degree. You see it coming. And I did, towards the end of it, start thinking, well, maybe I'm just seeing something there that's not there. Because it's like, okay, maybe it is going to be more of a this kind of thing, a more of a straightforward thing. And it's like, oh, no, there it is. Okay, yep, totally. Just from the second the movie started, saw that coming. Tony Todd is the only good thing in this, but he's like in it for 3 scenes. You know it's going to be that kind of thing. He's way overrepresented on the cover art. It gives you a completely different idea what this film is. And again, I can't even be like it's well shot or well paced or any of that. It's not. It's none of those things. But it's not like the worst movie I've ever seen. I've seen far worse. I mean, it's got a lot of competence to it in a lot of the technical areas, and none of the acting or anything. It's like they're not like so just awful or anything. It's just like awkwardly cast and strange, and I don't know. I almost enjoyed it like in the drunken movie night sense. Like, it's not so bad, it's good bad. It's just, it's really bad, but kind of like, oh, like, so I'm literally, the whole movie, I'm like, so, yeah, all right. So I guess that's the reviews if I put these in order like I normally do, but I still have other movies to watch. This is the first of this box I watched, but there we go. And another thing about this stupid movie. The Agoraphobia, they set it up the whole time. They set it up through the entire freaking movie. They barely use it at the end. When, like, the whole, like, oh god, she's afraid and being attacked and isn't gonna go outside. Like, it's, like, not even 2 seconds. And then she's outside and it's fine. Spoilers, but don't waste your time with this movie. It's the next day, I'm still mad.
Anywho.
All right, we're finishing a video. All right, so there's Horror Pack. I assume that trailer is over. There's Horror Pack for August 2020, and now I'm like a couple months ahead. I can go see what I need to actually open and watch. And what did y'all think? What have you seen all these movies? Which one's your favorite? What would you most want to see if you got this? How do you feel about The Shallows? Let us know. Geek out with us in the comments. We love hearing what you have to say. Don't forget there's the link in the description if you want to check them out. And of course, check out the Patreon for as little as $1 a month if you want to. No worries, no pressure. Video game Let's Plays, movie reviews, commentaries, food things, weirdness. Support us. Buy her stuff. It helps buy her pizza. I'm telling you. I don't know if we said that in this video or another one, but...
That's the last one.
Oh, okay, whoops. Anyways, now we're gonna get out of here because we got a lot of stuff to watch, and we're gonna watch some more stuff and open up some more things, and we'll see you all later.